Folks, hello, welcome to another video today. I was resisting saying welcome to another Bloomberg Terminal video because, as you can tell, we are not in the Bloomberg platform. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Metastock Xenith slash Refinitiv Eikon software package. And what this is it's a stripped down version of Refinitiv Eikon, which is formerly known as Thomson Reuters Eikon. It is Bloomberg's, or arguably Bloomberg's, largest competitor. And this platform, Xenith here, is designed for retail traders. This is for non-institutional use, and I thought that would be a perfect reason to showcase it here on my channel. Bloomberg, as you well know if you watched the first video that I made on it, is incredibly inaccessible to your average retail trader. Monthly cost is in excess of $2,000 easily for a bare bones version with delayed quotes and limited access, if any access at all, to research. And so, while you're similarly getting delayed quotes in Metastock Xenith slash Refinitiv Eikon here, you're getting it at a much better value. So the bare bones version of this will run you $150 a month, and that's exactly what I've paid for it to explore it. I am not doing this for Metastock. I'm not doing this for Refinitiv. I have no deals with anybody. I spent my own money on this platform because I was interested in checking it out. As such, this is going to be a cursory video. I'm not completely comfortable with the Xenith platform. I'm exploring it every day, and it's growing on me. I'd say I'm much more comfortable with Bloomberg. I'll say, I enjoy the Bloomberg experience a little bit more, but I think that's just a matter of me being accustomed to it. But as I say, this is a very promising platform, and I think it's worth taking a look at if you're a retail trader slash investor, because you get a lot of the same access to the information and sort of aggregates it in one place as Bloomberg does. So we're going to take a look at some different areas, and if there's continued interest, then I'll sort of expand on different topic areas as I did with the Bloomberg Terminal videos. So without further ado, let's take a look at the platform, and you can see that it has some similarities to the Bloomberg Terminal in terms of the dark colors and the orange that you get in the text and so forth, but it is very much different. So what you can see here is the news page, which I have set as my default page. The way Eikon works is everything is sort of modular. When you type in a command, everything opens up in a new window, and I hate that because I like everything to be in one window. That's just my preference. So I've set it so that when I type a new command up here, it will open up in a new tab, which is very useful. So one of the things I think we should take a look at first and foremost is equities. So similar to Bloomberg, when you type in a security into the search bar, it will load it as the default security. So any future functions will open up using that security. So you can see I've got Apple loaded in here, but let's go ahead and change that because I think everyone starts with Apple. So let's take a look at, let's say, Tesla. So you can type in the ticker symbol for Tesla, or you can type in the company name. In this case, I'll just type in the company name, and you can see the suggestion feature automatically brings up Tesla Incorporated with some subfunctions: overview, quote, financial chart, and so forth. So let's just click the security, and you can see it will pop open with the company overview. This is similar to the DES function in the Bloomberg terminal. Right away you get pricing information, volume, all that good stuff, fundamental data, recent news, and a business summary. And I think we should just take a look through this page here, and you can see for yourself. So let me just click here for a sec. And you've got information on the company's executives, segments, where revs are coming from. We'll go back to the main page here. And you can see that you've got these tabs up here along with submenus, and we'll click through some of these. We won't go through all of them because we'll be here all day. You got price performance. Let's take a look at valuation. And I think one of the things you're going to find when you're in the Refinitiv platform is that a lot of the functions and features are not available to you. Now, I haven't particularly found this to be a handicap, but it's something that you should know about regardless. Let's take a look at the news. You can see what that looks like. News monitor. Actually, I haven't clicked in this yet, so I don't know what that does. Social media. Okay, so this is kind of interesting. This is social media sentiment, and social media sentiment around Tesla, at least for a while now, has been pretty positive, and this is reflected here. You may recall that in 2000, I want to say 18, 2017. I mean, the sentiment on social media was pretty grim. But things have since improved. Significant developments. And now let's go to price and charts. So it looks like this is showing you a time in sales, which I guess is okay. Let's take a look at short interest. So this is pretty useful information. The Aztec score, which shows you how cheap or expensive it is to borrow shares to short. And I'll also give you a comparison here. Let's see what charts shows us here. So you have a normal 2D chart here. You can also do like candle charts if you want. Let's click there and see if that brings up the candle chart for us. It does not, but let's see, change line type candles. Okay, so that'll let you change that. We can change that to bars, actually, and then you can apply studies if you want. So let's say Bollinger Bands, and obviously we can add volume as well. So this is pretty capable in terms of charting. Not my favorite, I have to be honest with you, but it is certainly on par with what you get with Bloomberg. Certainly for the basic functions, anyway. We won't spend too much time on this, but let's just pull a trend channel. See how that works. Okay, cool. So, admittedly, I haven't spent a lot of time with the platform so far, as I mentioned earlier. But so I'm learning. I'm learning as I do this with you. So let's go ahead and hit the estimates tab. Looks like it's trying to load in some data, and also my computer is not the fastest. Okay, so this provides us with an income statement. We can pull the balance sheet, and one of the things I've learned as well is that you can sort of do shortcuts to get to specific pages. For instance, let's say I was on the overview page here. I could go to my bar and do tsla.obal, and that will take me directly to the balance sheet. So it's a little bit more complicated than the Bloomberg Terminal, but you can still do it here. And the what's appended on the ticker symbol is the exchange. So some of them, like Apple, will have a .o. If you look at something like Palantir, that'll have a .k. And so that's part of what's called the RIC, the RIC, which I think stands for the Reuters industry classification or something like that. Let me Google that because I want to make sure I get that right. It is the Reuters instrument code. Sorry about that. So they have their own sort of, syntax, but it's not something that will prevent you from getting to, an instrument if you don't know what to append, because you can just type in, the symbol and it will suggest it automatically. Okay, so let's take a look at the financials, Refinitiv financials here. You have all this good stuff, the income statement, balance sheet, statement of cash flows. We won't go into that. ESG, if you want to take a look at the officers serving, obviously Elon Musk, the chief executive. You get all sorts of information about these people and how long they've been there, what their comp is like. Let's take a look what this is here. Overview. Basically the same thing. And these are in-depth profiles, which is very useful. Now let's take a look at events. This is something I use a lot in Bloomberg, is to just try and figure out when earnings are taking place, what the call-in number is, etc., etc. So you can see I pulled up the events, and it's already telling us that an earnings conference call is expected along with the earnings release for the 20th of October, which is just 9 days from now. You can see it's AMC, which is after market close. If it says BMO, it's before market open, and sometimes it will tell you that it just doesn't know. It'll just estimate when the earnings are. So that's very useful, and you can actually sort what types of events you want to see. So if the company pays divs, which Tesla does not, it will show you that as well. Ownership. This is pretty self-explanatory. Obviously, Elon Musk, the largest shareholder. Let's take a look at the debt structure. You can see bonds outstanding. There you have 62 issues and the various maturity dates. Let's take a look at peers. Now, one thing I haven't been able to find yet is the supply chain analysis. If you remember my Bloomberg Terminal video, the first video I did, there was a great page there that shows you who the customers are and who they sell to and so forth. I have not been able to find that yet here. I don't know if it exists in this platform, to be honest with you. It's something I should ask the support people, but have not found it. Just clicking through here. Of course, you're welcome to fast forward if you wish. Okay, so these are index competitors. We'll click here. Stock comparison. Derivatives, most traded options. We'll take a look at that. Let's see what else we have. All options, all futures, warrants. So this is all very useful information. You can choose to display it differently. So it's a pretty powerful program, and for 150 bucks a month, I mean, that's pricey, but it's also, if you're serious about your investing, and your time is limited, that might actually be worth it. Okay, filings. This is basically going to aggregate all of your SEC filings, so you don't have to go to the SEC website, which is not very laborious to begin with, but if you are, keen to have it displayed in here, here you are. 360 menu basically gives you access. This is sort of like the that menu that pops up in Bloomberg when you just type in the ticker. It sort of tries to guide you in a specific direction and asks you, what do you want to look at? Do you want to look at charts? Do you want to look at, fundamentals, etc., etc.? We'll take a look at transactions here. Let's see. Not sure what will come up. We'll see. Okay, so there's nothing here. Okay, so that's basically what you're going to get with any equity security that you pull up in the terminal. Now, let's take a look at equity indices, which is something that I look for pretty much every day. Now in Bloomberg, that is WEI, which stands for World Equity Indices. There's also WEIF in the Bloomberg Terminal, which is World Equity Indices Futures. The Eikon platform does have that, but you'll see that it's delayed, and access to, I think, one of the indices is not available. Let's take a look. So you can see it. I typed in WEI, and I don't know if they're just trying to accommodate Bloomberg people, but the code here is INOV. So if we do that, that'll open up a new tab, take us to the equities indices, and you can see S&P 500. Dow Jones is the one that is denied. Obviously, if you're like on the fully loaded package, that's not the case, but with the bare bones, the access to it is denied. It is what it is, but this will give you a good overview of the indices, both not only in the Americas, but in Europe and Asia as well. And then you have the associated news, and then you can have economic events. We're not going to click on that because we're going to look at something similar just shortly. So let's search for World Equities Indices Futures. You can see that you do get DJX mini futures here, so that does display. It is delayed by looks like 20 minutes or so. So let's take a look at something else now that we've looked at equities. Let's say, for example, you were interested in money markets. In Bloomberg, that would be BTMM. Let's see if that works here. No, it doesn't. That would be, let me just search for money markets. So that's MMGD, Money Market Guide. Let me just clean up some tabs here. Okay, this is denominated in euro. Let's go to USD. Okay, and if as I'm clicking through here, there's something you want me to check out, leave a comment and let me know, and we can take a look at it in the future. What about precious metals here? So that would be METPREC. This gives us an overview of gold, silver, platinum, palladium. Scroll through here so you can take a look. Very cool. I'm just clicking through here to take a look at some various items. Let's take a look at oil markets. So let's say, I think the command is crude. Crude oil overview. Obviously the price of crude is sort of on a rip. So you have energy news, various charts here. Let's go to pricing, see what that shows. And again, remember, this is a cursory look. By no means is this meant to be exhaustive. This is only just a taste of what you can expect if you subscribe to this platform. And I'm just clicking around randomly. There's no real purpose here. Jet fuel kerosene, interesting. Very nice. Now, I know there's a lot of people who probably want me to explore fixed income products. I'm not going to do that in this video only because I have not had sufficient time to explore those features yet. And so I want to be able to bring to you things that I've at least had a look at before. So let's go ahead and leave oil markets. Let's take a look at cryptocurrencies. Crypto is the rates, and you get this kind of old looking screen here that will show you the live prices. Now these are not delayed. You can see the price of Bitcoin currently 57,200 and moving very quickly. Alternatively, if you wanted to get a quote on Bitcoin or any other security, like the symbol for Bitcoin is BTC equals, you could just do Q. So you would put the symbol and then append a Q, and that will show you a live quote. Now, again, keep in mind, if you're on the bare bones package, that quote is going to be delayed. And I'm sure a lot of people will break this off into its own window and just keep it in a corner, for securities that they're watching. So I kind of want to return back to the news tab because I'm kind of fond of how they display their news on their home page, their front page. So this is a nice screen to open up the system with because it'll show you the most important news items of the day, and of course it does refresh. And if there's breaking news, a red bar will appear up here and it will tell you what the breaking news is. But if you're interested in seeing news for something different, you can just go up here and type in news, and it will allow you to customize what you want to see news for. So you can see the default, I guess, type of security is crypto, so it's going to show us crypto news. But let's say I want news related to the United States. I would just type in United States, and it will give me the news. And if you have a lot of criteria here, this will just be scrolling super quick, and especially during the market day. Now I want to take a look at or show you the economic monitor here, because this is the page that I open up or have been opening up very frequently, and this will show you what sort of economic events are slated to take place today and in the future, or looking back if you want. So today is holiday, and there's not very much going on here, but you can see all of the events that are taking place here in the United States, or economic events, and the relevance will be shown here in terms of how impactful that news can be on the markets. So obviously something like a CPI or initial jobless claims will have a pretty strong impact on the market, and you can come here and take a look at that. Now, one of the other things I was trying to figure out, and I actually just figured out today, I was working with their support group and they were unable to tell me, but I figured it out myself, is I wanted to take a look at upcoming earnings for companies that are reporting. And the way to do that, if you're interested, is to go to ADVEV, which is the Advanced Events Search. Okay, and what you're going to do is customize the criteria. So you can already see that I have this customized in such a way that it will report only earnings releases for the United States of America, which is what I'm interested in, and on these exchanges. So this is pretty granular in terms of what you want to show displayed, and you can see I have a set for this week. And for instance, you have JP Morgan reporting before the market opened on the 13th. And these are the other companies that are reporting as well, Alcoa, etc., etc. So there is a way to do that. So I think we're going to wrap things up here because I've been going on for about 25 minutes. If there is anything that you want to see specifically, please do let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to try and continue exploring this platform and seeing what else there is of interest. But so far, my first look of this platform is I'm actually quite impressed. I think it's a great solution to the retail investor who is looking for a lot of the important information that they usually seek aggregated in one place. So I definitely think it might be worth taking a look at. And actually, when I signed up for this, they were offering $150 for 3 months, and then thereafter it'll be $150 a month. And then there are things that you can add on, such as real-time data and so forth. So worth taking a look at. You can go to the Metastock website. I'm not going to link it because this isn't an advertisement of any sort. And we'll try and come back to you with some more videos in the near future. So I hope you stay healthy, stay well, and be good.